never, ever, 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 never put a garbage disposal
in Reno.
In Reno.
Okay, and you told me.
¿Por qué?
Porque it's more problems, more maintenance.
You work on a lot of rental properties. How many garbage disposals do you change?
Thousands.
Thousands. Even when we sell the house, we're not putting it in a garbage disposal. Even when we sell it, we're gonna put a dishwasher. Do you need a dishwasher for a garbage disposal?
No.
Or a garbage disposal for a dishwasher?
No.
No, we're not putting in a garbage disposal. I don't believe in them.
So let me just be clear. Never, ever, 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 never put it in a garbage disposal. We have one in our personal house and it causes more problems than I think it's worth. There's always something broken down there. There's a spoon going down there. There's some sort of crap going down there. And then what do you got to do? You got to put your hands down there to get whatever. And that's like a nightmare. I wonder how many hands have been lost to garbage disposals, because it's just dangerous, number one. So it's a liability, number one, for like rental properties. Number two, people don't even know how to properly use them. And number three, it's like a scam. Yeah, let's make some more work for plumbers. I am sorry. There's more food going down your drain with a garbage disposal than without a garbage disposal. Because if people have a garbage disposal, they feel the need to put food down it. Rage bait, this guy says. I love how people get so mad. Like, I'm so mad about that. Like, another pro tip, nuke the lawn so grass never grows. Haha, no more lawn mowing, genius, okay? I guess this guy's still mad about that last one. As a teen, I remember stuffing the drain twice with rice, at least 2 to 3 times a week, and a couple times a year, Dad having to snake it. One of the blades came flying out, barely missed her face. That was enough for me not to put anything down there but water. Fast forward to my first apartment and coming home, the kitchen sink flowing with food that was not mine. Grossest thing ever. That's exactly right, man. I'm glad there's some honest people on there. A garbage disposal is a problem. In fact, it's a slob problem. I had a tenant of mine recently say, we want a dishwasher. We had a dishwasher in there. I said, no, I'm not putting a dishwasher in, because we don't really put dishwashers in, but the house I bought had one. And so when it was time to replace it, we didn't put a dishwasher back in. And they're like, I'm moving out. You would think, oh, well, people who want a dishwasher are super clean. No, these are the most filthy animals in the world. Same people with garbage disposal, filthy animals, okay? Never take constructive advice from a person in a pink hoodie and a white bottom sneakers on a job site. The end. No fire alarms either. The beeping is crazy. I totally agree. Like, you have to put fire alarms in there. Smoke detector is what he's talking about. But you got to use the 10-year battery life that you buy on Amazon. That's the tip there. So don't use garbage disposals and use, because no tenants are changing smoke detector. And then you're the one getting in trouble for them not changing the battery. Like, that's how it works. Like, they're going to call health and safety on you and say, hey, my smoke detector doesn't work because they never changed the battery. Even if you pasted a battery on next to it, they wouldn't do it. Yeah, tenants won't know until they move in. Why do we need lights? We have windows. Okay. Actually, good point about lights. I put in can lights into my rental properties. I don't put regular lights. Like this house right here that we're staying in is a rental. It's an Airbnb. This guy's got this down to the minimum. Not a bad idea. This is funny because I repair rentals in Austin, Texas, literally thousands, and have only had 3 disposal issues. In fact, have had more dishwasher replacements. His energy about this is hilarious. Hey, I get rid of dishwashers too, so I don't know who you're changing. Like, I get rid of dishwashers and I get rid of garbage disposals because they're both problematic. Like, the dishwasher in its true form is for like a restaurant, and you're not putting by the time you actually use a dishwasher the right way and rinse everything off, just do the stuff by hand and put it away. To put it in there, to store it, to then unload it, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Slumlord, I don't know. We keep safe places. I just don't do a lot of things. I don't know. I think a slumlord is when you don't repair things. I don't think minimizing things that you have to repair is a slumlord. I think I would qualify as somebody who's trying to provide maintenance-free housing. And I have learned over the years that people like yourself who call me a slumlord, A, don't change your battery on your smoke detector. B, put your rice down your garbage disposal. And C, would never clean a gutter if you saw one. So that's what I would say. Don't put a stove or a fridge either. We have to. So, but we don't put washing machines. Don't put toilets either. They just clog. Actually true. A lot of tenants flush down toiletries. They don't realize that you actually got to take that and throw that in the dishwasher. So they'll take their tampon and they'll stick it down there and it expands in the drain. That's 90% of the problems that we deal with tenants. Like there should be some sort of education course, because I think what the problem is with most tenants is they're poor and they were raised as tenants and they never learned how to properly take care of things. And I think that's the bigger problem. Like there's a issue with poor people that don't know how to take their things. So I think it would be better if like both tenants and landlords learned how to take care of things. But the reality is tenants just don't care. People are more apt to put stuff down the garbage disposal because of having a garbage disposal than they are if they don't have a garbage disposal. Garbage disposals don't work. I think the number one thing that you see clogging is kids' toys, tampons, and grease, right? Never, ever, ever be a good landlord. You know what? Being a good landlord is to provide the safest housing that I can. And the safest housing that I can do and the most maintenance free is, number one, I don't want someone's kid reaching down and putting the garbage disposal. So that's number one. I don't want to deal with that. Number two, I just don't want to have to deal with a bunch of like crap. I learned this actually from the Section 8 guys, the Section 8 Bible. These guys out of Philadelphia really got it figured out in terms of renting out low income housing. Maybe you're just putting the cheapest possible ones. I don't care if you put the freaking fanciest gold laden garbage disposal, they break. 38 years in our home, replaced one disposal, just said the word cheap, you SOB, and get on with it. Again, that is the rarity. Most garbage disposals, I just had one of my tenants in my office space who, I don't know why they have a garbage disposal, but he's calling me up because the drain's leaking because of the garbage disposal. That's usually the major issue. If you take a device from a house flipper, you need to get evaluated. You need it for your sink because it's about to be funky. No, they will clog the drain a lot more without one. So the tenants will put food down the drain anyways. The idea is that people know not to put food down the drain. They have that little thing like that you catch for the food as you're putting it down. So if you guys pay less, shouldn't you guys charge us less rent? Oh, this is why. These are mainly tenants. I do charge really low rent. In fact, I rarely ever raise my rent. I should probably do one where I interview most of my tenants. I raise rent when tenants ask for stuff. So if you're asking me for a bunch of stuff, usually I'm gonna raise your rent. I've got one of my ladies in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Shout out to Jennifer. She's an amazing tenant. She's been there for 12 years. She pays, I think, $11.95 for rent, and originally she's paid $10.95. I raised her rent $100 one time, and then she's asked me to do multiple things, and I'm like, if I got to do more things, I'm gonna have to raise the rent or think about selling the property. And that's just the fact. If I can't make money, and maintenance is the number one cost of rental properties, period, end of story. So if you're a tenant, take care of your property, and probably your landlord will not raise your rent. I know landlords get a bad reputation. But where I'm at in the low income housing market, like you've got to provide good housing, cheap housing. Here's the other thing is I don't take care of rodents. Like I give rodent free housing. We're going to go in there. We're going to put mouse traps in. We're going to leave it free of rodents. And then you're going to get some messy, sloppy tenant that's going to call you up complaining about rodents. And now I've got to hire a pest control company because this tenant won't take care of the rodents. No, I don't think so. So most of the problems are because of the tenants. I can promise you that. I know there's some bad landlords out there, but in my case, it's because of the tenants.
This is gonna freeze in the winter time. So what should we do there?
You know, the black pipe insulation.
It's that one is work for,
Not worth anything.
not work too much. I don't know. Put an electric wire. The little electric wires go to the pipe.
So how does that work?
That one work more than the.
So you put like a heater around the pipe?
Mm-hmm. You never know.
No, I never seen it before.
And you need to put the pressure release valve right here.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit more money, but please do that for me, okay?
I put it porque I need to run outlet, drop it right here.
That's a good solution. I never heard of that before.
Yeah, so these guys say, you're the first person to give me a solution. This tells me you never had a real plumber. No, I've never had a plumber tell me anything about that ever. And I've had a lot of real plumbers. Never one real plumber has told me that. I've never heard of a trace. No, never heard. Now, we just started flipping properties in the Midwest. So in Las Vegas, you don't ever have freezes. In Washington State, it's rare that you have freezes. So this guy says, Troy, he needs better people giving him advice. I discovered this in 2009. Okay, big deal. Like, I'm admitting it. Like I just heard of it. It's brand new. Bro, this is your guy. I'm sure he's good, but you need an actual dude that's been around the area for a while. be prepared for the winters. I agree, man. Like, this guy's 100% a slumlord. Okay, I don't know how else to do anything. That's a good solution there. This man 100% knows what he's talking about. I agree. Once again, no one knows what one effing thing. It's called a heat trace. It's as simple as running an outlet to a location and plug it in. Secondly, proper insulation will deal with it properly. No, I don't think so. I just don't think it will. Okay, so I guess the question for the plumbers is putting proper insulation around a pipe in a garage, which is where we're at, or in a basement, is that gonna actually solve the problem? I don't think so. So anyways, that's us reacting to your hate. Let me just tell you something. Number one, it's mostly contractors and it's mostly tenants that are getting pissed off. And I don't really care. The bottom line is, it's from experience that I get this. I ask questions when I don't know the answers. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything, but I do know a couple things. I know gutters suck. I know garbage disposal suck. I know tenants don't change smoke detector batteries. I know that most contractors get mad because they think they know everything and they don't own rental properties. And the bottom line is, if renters knew how to take care of their properties, if construction guys knew how to own properties, then we wouldn't even have viral videos. So thank you very much for reacting to my video. I'll check in the next one. Peace.